Dear enlightened leaders, this is the right time to invite everybody who is interested in welfare of their subjects, because if you try to understand, if we try to go to the root of the problems, whatever problems we are seeing all around today, is the stress, unhealthy living, which makes a person complexed, not aligned with natural laws, not aligned with totality, so that one feels oneself aloof, separate, and very limited individual. And when one feels oneself limited from all sides, then what happens? The consciousness, the thinking process, it becomes very narrow, very limited, very caged. So whatever decision that person takes, it is very narrow, very caged, very small. And in a way, it's very selfish. It takes care of the self of that particular individual. And that self, which is very superficial, if we talk of the body, it is going to decay. It means that self, what one is taking care of, it's not going to last forever. It is there for a very limited, short time. So when one thinks or takes decision on the basis of that temporary self, which is not going to last forever, then all the decisions which are taken by this type of consciousness is never going to be eternal, universal, nice for everybody. It is only nice, so-called nice, for that particular person who is taking that decision, but depriving all others that happiness, bliss, peace which they deserve. And now if we try to understand the reason behind this stress, one of the very important aspect is the place, the city, the country, the house they live in. It means what type of ambience, what type of surrounding, what type of proportions, what type of colors, what type of sceneries, what type of painting, sculptures and plants and all things, whatever are around that person. And if the house where a person lives is not healthy, is not nice, it not in right proportions, not in right colors, not in right shape, landscaping is wrong, plants planted around, indoor, outdoor, everything has to be taken care of. So if there are many other reasons, many other aspects of it, because this is the branch of the Sthapatya Veda, this is the branch of Vedic sciences, which is very important, which takes care of the habitation, where one lives, and it includes house planning, homes planning, town planning, country planning, landscaping, everything, Vriksha Ayurveda, all types of plants, indoor, outdoor, those plants which are to be planted around the city or outside the city. So these are very, very important branches. If anyone is missed out, then what happens? The consequence of this is directly affecting the person who's going to live in that particular house. And if we don't have right sun, right ventilation, right radiation, and as we know, the sun rises from the east, sets in the west, but in the southern hemisphere, sun is on different side. On the northern hemisphere, sun is always on the different side. So we have to take care of all these things. What longitude, latitude is having what type of effect to create healthy living. So Sthapatya takes care of everything, and it is so subjective. It has details of hundreds thousands of homes, types of homes, and surprisingly, I think nowhere in the world will have the literature which has the houses, the types of the houses, with their names. And those names are not merely name of a person, place, or thing is a noun. No. That noun is an adjective in itself also. It has the qualities of that house. What house, what type of house, what shape, what entrance, what proportion, what distribution of verandas and rooms and, courtyard by proportions and, permutation or combination of all these elements. There are different types of names. And every name, again, I am repeating, it is having a noun. But that noun is not merely noun of that name of that particular house. It is an adjective of that house also, because that noun declares, tells its qualities, what type of house this is and what result is it going to give. One will be surprised to know that how is it possible that every house has a different name and different result. It has a very, very, very scientific reasoning, because as we know that in newly born babies, if baby starts suffering from jaundice, then allopathic doctors, modern doctors, they say that expose the baby in a rising sun, and that jaundice goes away. It means jaundice is the problem of liver, and if the baby is exposed in that rising sun, then jaundice goes away. It means that radiation, which is non-matter, it creates some matter in the body, some chemical in the body which cures the liver. It means that a demonic radiation has those qualities which can create some chemicals, and they take care of the body as a medicine, They play the role of medicine, and jaundice is cured, liver is cured. So this is one example. Similarly, we have 12 nouns of same sun. Why the requirement of 12 nouns was felt by those rishis to the same sun? Because the same sun, it is as per month, as per the angle of radiation. So it is the physical chemical quality of those radiations which is affecting the body, human physiology differently, nature all around us differently. So as per the effect, as per the physical chemical qualities of those radiations, the noun of that sun is given. So it is very important that early morning sun that cures the liver, but the same sun, if it goes on south side in afternoons and it is very hot in summer, then that sun in that summer, it will create pitta, bile, acidity in one's body. So if somebody goes outside in terrific sun in May and June, then it starts suffering from, sunstroke and high fever and all those problems. Why? Because that sun causes negativity, sickness in the body. So it means the rising sun has very nourishing quality, but that afternoon sun has a different quality. It means that the same sun is having different nouns as per their effect on human physiology and nature all around us. Similarly, when sun is in the center and earth keeps on revolving around it, and as it comes closer it becomes short. When it is distant, then winter comes. So it means that as per the location of the earth in the difference of sun, weather changes, season changes, and we see that in different seasons we find different fruits, different vegetables, different plants, different and so many vegetation. So it means the same sun gives different radiation along with the radiation of all those celestial bodies and 12 zodiac signs and 27 nakshatras and 9 grahas. All those are creating different effect on the earth and creating different chemical reactions in the physiology of vegetation or human physiology. So if we know what sun is creating what in our body, how it is affecting our human physiology, to whatever longitude, latitude one house is situated on, we'll understand what type of quality this house is having. So if in Ayurveda, the physiology is classified in different manner, Vata, Pitta and Kapha and all that. So it means air prominent or acidic or Agni fire prominent or Kapha prominent, water content prominent. So all many permutation combinations, they have different results. So now if we know that what type of physiology one belongs to, so if he or she is kept in the right placement, which is having the right radiation, right temperature, right color, right everything, then the person would be healthy all the time. So if a person is not situated in right room or in the same room, in the right direction, in right placement, and windows and doors are not at right proportion, color is not right, plant, indoor, outdoor plants are not right, then the result of this type of house will never let a person who is living in that house remain healthy, happy, because it will always cause different negativities because of secretion of chemicals in the body. So because we know that behind every crime or violence or negativity, is what? Envy, feeling jealous, feeling negative type of competition, trying to overrule somebody. So just because of those negativity, one becomes, there is a gap, there is some, inferiority or some complexes are created, because one becomes aloof of nature, totality, abundance, whatever is available all around. One becomes very narrow, caged, and stressed, and that causes complexes and strains and stresses, guilts. So all these things, they cause sickness in a person, and the action, thought process and action, everything becomes negative, very negative for the person and for society as a whole. So if we try to solve international problems, all international problems are created by individuals, and it spreads and it starts affecting gradually to bigger society. So if we try to eliminate all those problems, we'll have to address it from the root of that problem, the main reason of that problem. So what is the main reason? Because if a house is not right, it can cause physical sickness, mental sickness, psychological sickness. That causes in emotional sickness and social sickness and wrong thinking and wrong action, which causes wrong results. So if we try to go to the root, we have so many examples that same person was very brilliant, but when he started living in some other house, whole talent and big companies, they appoint very efficient people, seeing great grand biodata of great achievements and all that. Many people, they don't perform according to their biodata. Why? And then the interviewer and the employer, they becomes surprised that why. Then all the negative games, hire and fire and all those things, it happens. But what is important here to think that the person having great grand biodata, achievements, a big achievement list of big achievements, who is not performing with you. That is the reason. If one thinks, then just hiring or firing is hiring new man, firing this, that is not the solution. One must think that if a person is having that grand biodata, and what are the reasons he is not performing well in your company or in your organization or institution, we'll have to think of the solution, because the person already has the great achievers biodata. So if we go to the root, we try to find out the solutions in that root. And now I invite every enlightened reader who is emotionally, politically, socially, economically, and value-wise related with the people of their country and their surrounding, these things which are to be addressed immediately. The knowledge of Sthapatya Veda, that is knowledge of establishment, knowledge of making Vedic knowledge, traditional, eternal Vedic knowledge, and we have the result of this knowledge. When all these things, all these principles were followed in India, India was having the greatest GDP. Everybody was healthy, happy. All the Chinese travelers, they rode, then nobody falls sick in India. If they fall sick, they just do something in their food and manage their food and change their eating style and things, and they become cured. Only when somebody falls sick because of some other factors, then they have the great knowledge of Ayurveda and the person is cured. So we have many branches of Vedic sciences, and that is time tested, because when all these branches of knowledge was utilized well, then India was global guru, bird of gold. It had best GDP, share of best GDP in the world. So now we must try to revive, rethink, re-establish all those great knowledge of Sthapatya Veda, Vastu Shastra, so that one starts eliminating the root cause of the problems. And this small problem of individual, it becomes social, it becomes national, it becomes international. So we must try to eliminate all those problems. And one of the most important aspect is following the principles of the Sthapatya Veda to eliminate all these problems. And by following the construction of town planning and civil architecture and domestic architecture, public architecture, temples, town planning, country planning, global planning, will start living in abundance physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So everybody will start feeling connected with that totality, and everybody's internal psyche, emotionally, internally, consciously, subconsciously, everybody will start feeling himself, herself connected with that totality. That because that is the secret of Sthapatya, that everything is magnetically, celestially aligned with those forces, geomagnetic forces, radiational forces of nature. So those constructions are aligned beautifully, very mathematically, highly, precisely mathematically calculated. And when every house, every construction is perfectly aligned with magnetic field, with celestial radiations and all that, then the person who starts living in it becomes aligned with all positivity, what nature is giving us in abundance, and everybody starts living very fulfilled, happy, blissful life. And there is no question of accumulating or being stressed. So everybody starts living fulfilled life, and when one is fulfilled, then the person will share fulfilledness, and our beautiful world will become more happy, healthy, blissful, because everybody will be overflowing with the joy, happiness, bliss. And when somebody is overflowing with something, like some wells are overflowing well, then naturally it starts irrigating surrounding. And when land is irrigated properly, becomes wet, then it becomes fertile. So similarly, every individual, when starts living in abundance with fulfillment, then the person will start sharing happiness, huh? Nourishing individuals, nourishing surrounding, nourishing nature, and whatever he'll do, it will be always very eco-friendly, helping nitrogen cycle to become stronger, better. So a person will start thinking health, happiness, peace for everybody. So that will, it is not utopian thought. It is very, it is not just merely a thought. It is time-tested knowledge. We have greatest temples which survived uh, 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 many earthquakes and natural disasters. And this knowledge is very important. One must start following. So I invite every enlightened leader to make their country, their people, their society healthy, happy, blissful, and aligned with natural laws. So everybody is going to start living life in perfect alliance, magnetically, celestially aligned with natural laws, so that everybody starts living with happiness, bliss, fulfillment. And that is the secret of all social, political, emotional, beyond boundaries of geographical and all man-made boundaries. It goes beyond that. So I invite every leader of every country, all prime ministers, all presidents, to come and utilize this knowledge together to make this world a more beautiful way, more beautiful, more nourished, more eco-friendly, huh? More sharing, and that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is my family. Everybody will start nourishing everything. In any way, we are constructing, no? We are constructing, we are making towns, we are making houses. The only thing is, we should start constructing it on the basis, on the principles of Sthapatya Veda. In any way we are planning villages and towns and whole houses and homes. But because of ignorance, we make row houses, and houses which are stop rising sun of other houses. So many natural disasters are taking place because of this. Natural disaster, human physiology, human psychology. So that this is the right time to start following the great knowledge of Sthapatya Veda, Vastu Shastra, and that is very necessary for every individual. And it is merely one can choose the world when we have everything, we have all knowledge, but still we are suffering. Then what this type of person should be called? So just try to come and utilize this great knowledge of Sthapatya to make every individual, every society, every country peaceful, healthy, blissful, so that we create the sense of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is our family, and it is duty of every individual, every leader, every administrator, every planner, every person who is having vision for his or own country. One should start thinking in this direction, the great knowledge of Vedic science, which has nothing to do with religion. It is all natural laws. So it is based on natural laws. So everybody should start coming forward and utilizing this great knowledge to make every individual, every citizen strong, every country strong, to make our lovely earth, Mother Earth, more healthy, happy, blissful, sharing and enjoying. Everybody should enjoy the abundance of nature. Just by the ignorance, we are not following that. So now this is the right time that everything is available. So one must come forward to enjoy and make oneself and others happy, to make this beautiful Mother Earth more nourished, happy, healthy, blissful, and enjoying. Please come forward as soon as possible.